know it's 7:57. I did um, waive all the charges for all you guys for this session as a session 0 because we'll be kind of going over rules and boring stuff like that and just stuff we got to get out of the way before we actually start playing and make sure it's a good fit for everyone. A little bit about me. My name is Ryan. You can reach me easier through Discord DMs. I'll respond quickly, or I will give you my personal cell phone if you guys want to take that down. Just text. I mean, you guys can call me, but just text me first. I'm always running around doing crazy stuff, so it's easy to reach me if you need to reach me. My number is 315-506-0017, and I'll write that in the general chat or in the important chat too, just in case you need to reach me about anything. For cancellations, I understand that things happen. If you can't make it a session, it's not a big deal. Just it'd be nice for me to know like 24 hours ahead of time, just so I can make adjustments to anything that I had planned for that day or do something else. So, but if not, real life comes first. So always more important to take care of whatever you need to take care of. So no problem if you have to miss a session. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was about 15. I've played mostly Pathfinder actually, and I just recently got back into 5th edition. But I've been DMing for about 2 years now for 5th edition. Been really enjoying it. I'm DMing 2 other campaigns right now besides this one, and my goals is just everyone to have fun, go on a good adventure, and if no one has learned, I'm here to teach you how to play. I've done this campaign multiple times. I'm doing a homebrew Underdark campaign right now, and I've done Tome of Annihilation.
Oh.
I don't ever really get to play as much as I want to because I'm always DMing, but I've grown to love it, and I just have realized that I'm going to be a forever DM, and every game I try to play as a player gets canceled, so I just kind of resign myself to that fate and just work on this. I really enjoy making the maps, making the tokens, making the story. I hope to take elements of your backstory and add it into this campaign.
Sweetie, I told you I would DM a campaign if you could find players, so you could be a character. You know I'm an excellent DM.
Oh yeah. And okay, Chris, let's have a little introduction of you first, and then maybe a little bit about your character that you wanted to share.
All right. So, Chris, I'm a friend of Ryan's. I have been playing D&D on and off since I was like 15, which was about 2.5 years ago, depending on who you ask. This started out with the books and stuff before, D&D Beyond. Took a huge break for about 10, 15 years because I couldn't find groups, people in their adult life. I just actually recently picked it up again with 5th edition with Ryan when he started a campaign. And IRL, if you're interested, I'm a quality engineer and a programmer, and I also have a side bit thing where I do rescue and rehabilitation of pets, mostly cats, but not limited to. I'm very fluent in English and sarcasm, and that's about it. For my character, my name is Win Niefenfoot. I know that it says Yarwindum Niefenfoot, but the Yar and the Dom is silent. It's just Win Niefenfoot. And I come from a group, a village almost, of other lizard folks. I was born about 23 years ago. My last name is not a lineage. My father, my mother I don't really know. My father, when he was young, had a witch doctor tell him in a prophecy that he was going to be brutally murdered by one of his offspring. So my name does not derive from him. It's from a curse that he had set on a blade and was going to stab me with, but it dropped it and went into my foot and broke off. If the blade ever is removed, I will die. I know that seems quite dramatic, but my father was a very weird man. Very, very weird. Was very weird.
Wait, you have a blade in your foot that's removed, you'll die?
Yes.
Well.
It's very well
What?
protected. I've had spells put on it, so eat shit, Ryan. I mean,
Wasn't there like a Jason Statham movie that was very similar to this plot?
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It was
Right.
adrenaline or
Yeah.
something. I forgot, but yeah. So, in case you're wondering, I think it was completely crazy that my father would do such a thing to such a young child as me, but it no longer matters because he sadly passed away many, many years ago.
Doesn't sound like it's that sad.
Oh no, I actually murdered him and ate him. Yeah. So
Is that just like a lizard folk thing that they do?
No,
Or
just it was the
all right.
prophecy, and I didn't like that knife in my foot, so I just murdered him and ate it for it. But I'm not gonna murder anyone. It was just him. Just him.
Okay, that makes you feel way better.
Yes. Now it doesn't matter to me that you look like my fucking father.
Well, that was a good start. Thank you so much, Chris, for the knife and foot story.
I just made that up while we were fucking talking about it.
Not bad. It's already given me some ideas about how to kill you, unlike your rogue.
Thought I'd make it easier for you.
You gave me the Achilles tendon right away. All right, guys. I know you guys just made your character bash and stuff, so that you didn't necessarily. I was just saying like what your character was, like race and class. But if you want to tell about your backstory, for sure, go ahead. I know you guys probably want to work on it, but before we do any more interactions, let me just go over the rules. So the rules I have are actually really easy. Just some rules that make sure that we're all on the same page and want to have a positive environment for fun because we're all here to play the game. We don't want any drama really coming up. So the more we kind of just follow easy rules, the more that we'll all stay on the same page and have fun. So rule number one, I would prefer if we try to avoid metagaming, as in like sharing information that your character wouldn't know, telling people what moves that they should do or what to use their abilities, that kind of thing. Try to stay in character the most you can. It just makes it more fun for everyone. We don't. I know some people may have played with someone that tries to tell them what to do. I don't really like that. It's everyone's here to play their character. It's the way they want their character to be. Reading ahead in the adventure, if you own the adventure or anything, is fine with me, but just don't like metagame. Like I said, like don't spoil the plot for everyone else if you read. I do make a lot of changes to the actual campaign, so it's not completely vanilla, but yeah, just pretty much number one, no metagaming. Number two, just be respectful of everyone. Don't bring personal conflicts into the game. Like for RP, if your character has a problem with someone, that's fine as long as you RP it. But the minute that it actually becomes like personal attacks, that's where we're gonna have to draw the line because we're all here to enjoy our time, and any kind of personal harassment of a player for any reason is not going to be tolerated. There will be, depending on the severity, just a warning. But after that, I'll probably have to just remove you from the campaign just so everyone else can continue.
All right, fine, I'll leave.
Number three, there will be sometimes rule mistakes. I try to do my best. I'm not 100% perfect. I may occasionally get a ruling wrong. But in order to keep the game kind of moving, we'll just accept whatever rulings I make at the time. And if it's a bigger issue, just message me after the game or during the game. Just let's try not to have like rule lawyers right off the bat in the campaign. So I'm pretty 99% of the time right, but there will be certain things that I may get wrong, and I just want you guys to understand I may get some rules wrong of the game, but
75%.
we can always review it afterwards. 99.5% of the time, let's say I get them right, but there will be things that I may get wrong. And then last one, this is the toughest. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for your sanity, because I've played with you before and I understand like it gets really bogged down when people are casting spells, but we've noticed in our other campaign that if you have your tokens on the screen and you're gonna cast some sort of spell, put it as part of your name on the token so Ryan doesn't forget, or other characters. I can't tell how many times I've been blessed and I forget.
Yeah, well, for your own buffs, I will try my best to remember that you guys are buffed, but it's kind of on you guys to remember to use that for your rolls, especially before you roll. You want to use stuff like that. For debuffs and stuff, I'll try. I will write all that down and everything. So, but if anything is missed, that wasn't what I was saying about like the rule layering. That just you can give me a reminder. Oh, I had this too, and that's fine. What was I going to say now? Oh, the last thing was just um, it's best if you stay in character so everyone knows kind of what's going on, especially in combat. So if you wanted to talk to someone like in combat, that's fine. But as your character, do it the way your character would. But if you wanted to say something like out of character, just make sure that everyone knows that it's out of character and don't really bring that like back into the game just to make it more fun for everyone. And those are the 4 really hard that I think that we all be able to do pretty easily. For my games too, I prefer to have a good mix of combat, traps, puzzles, and RP. I don't know if any of you guys prefer more puzzles, more RP, more combat. I can take any suggestions now, and I can obviously add that in. Depends on what you guys like. We can start with Dan. What do you like in the game?
I mean, I like a good mix of everything. So like I enjoy the sort of all facets. So I do like I like a crunchy combat definitely, but
Yeah,
I also like sort of the I feel like if it's just combat, then you don't have the like the rising and falling action and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty
good
much
mix.
the same.
Cool.
You already know what I like.
RP only, I think.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. That's only when we play with a certain person who hates RP.
And then Sus, did you have a preference?
No, just mixed on everything. It's just everything's
Cool.
good about the game.
Awesome. All right. And then sorry for kind of busting the rules out there and when we were starting to do the character introductions, but we can go to Dan if you wanted to just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about your character if you want, whatever you feel like sharing.
Sure. So I'm Dan, as Ryan mentioned. This is the first time I think I've played a game online. I used to play a lot of games in 4th edition a while back. Sort of a weekly, sort of living Forgotten Realms thing, where you kind of showed up every week with a set of characters. You'd kind of find a game. It's kind of like a West Marches thing a little bit. And so that was really my experience. I don't have a lot of high level play. Most of my play is like pretty low level in it. Again, an edition ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, coming back to it, I feel like I know the rules like pretty well. I guess we'll find out. So character wise, I'm not gonna lay it out on the line here. So I'm just gonna say he's so it's his name's Barrick, and he's a gold dwarf from the Giants Run Mountains. So he's pretty far away from. I guess we're starting in Neverwinter, right? So, or somewhere around Neverwinter.
Yep, you guys will have met your benefactor, Gundren Rockseeker, and a dwarf himself in Neverwinter. You may have worked with him before. You may have been his friend. He may have gotten you out of trouble before, whatever you guys want for your thing. But he pretty much is just hiring you to escort a wagon load of supplies to a town that has recently been resettled to bring supplies there because he says that he discovered something big. He had left out a few days before you to get back sooner, waiting for your guys' supplies, but he wanted to go meet up with his 2 brothers who he had left there. You guys actually start on the road from Neverwinter to the town of Vandalen. This is where you guys will actually start. But
so I'm from pretty far away. So I'm like not so like I'm a dwarf, but I'm a hill dwarf or a gold dwarf, I guess, in this setting, which is nowhere near here. And I guess we can get to appearance, I guess, later. But that's sort of the long and the short of it.
cool. Sus, did you want to just give a little introduction?
Yeah. I have pretty decent experience in Dungeons and Dragons. I've played a fair mix of online and real life games. My character is actually an albino tiefling warlock who's a native to Neverwinter.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is an albino tiefling?
white.
Okay,
Very
got it. So albino, it's not like the inverse of red or
No.
like pink or something.
No,
Okay, got it.
it's
All right.
just white, red eyes, like a normal albino.
That's dope.
That
Alright.
actually probably looks really cool.
That's cool.
I like that.
That's dope.
What color are the horns? Are they still black? Like that's awesome.
They're like white that fade into black. But
Ah, hell yeah.
That looks like so your horns are like marble colored. That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
Native Neverwinter. And then feel free to take time with your backstory. I did post a little backstory helper. It doesn't have to be long at all. Just the three main things would be maybe a goal of your character, where they're from, which you said you're from Neverwinter, and how would you know Gundren Rockseeker, who is going to be your benefactor for this campaign. So he could have maybe gotten you out of trouble with the law, given you a job before. You may have just met him in an inn, anything. But just a few things just to smooth it along for the story. I know you guys just made your characters recently, so take your time. We have until next week before campaign starts in earnest. So,
Do you have any like tips for kinds of things that you would like to see in there? That I mean, obviously there's stuff for our own benefit, but like stuff that you want to see, or does that cover it?
when I read yours, that was you can add anything you want, but from yours is completely good for me.
Okay.
I did enjoy yours. I did read it earlier when I was at my job, so I definitely enjoyed it.
where do you want us to put our backstories?
You can either message it, like direct message me on Discord, or you can just put it in your character creation. There should be under notes on D&D Beyond, and you should be
Alright.
able to fill in
Cool.
backstory
My
there as
backstory's
well.
there.
Oh, cool! You did it already. Sweet. I will pull that up now and just check it out real quick. And then, last but not least, is it Vash or Vash?
It's Vash.
Vash, if you don't mind, just a little introduction. And
Of course. I'm Ty. My character's Vash. I'm pretty new to D&D. I've been kind of doing some one-shots around for the past year or so, mostly because of my work schedule. I finally have like a little more regularity going on, so I'm going to try and dive in a little bit deeper. I have a decent understanding of the basic rules, and I have a desire to try all the new stuff. So I'm here to fuck around and
Sweet.
find out.
Find out.
Dope.
My character is Vash Treadwater. He has a very mysterious past because I just made him up. He's barely even born yet. But in that, I kind of got like a vibe, like, his tribe was killed and he was into seclusion. He lived in the cave by himself, raised by wolves, kind of like a Mowgli dude. Very awkward, doesn't know how to do anything very socially. But he wants to experience the world that he was kind of left out of. So he's just, lust for life, just like me, baby. Let's do it.
all right, loving it. Did you know what color Dragonborn you wanted to make him yet?
Yes, he is a white
White
dragonborn. Yeah.
We're a motley crew.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that anyone seeing you, maybe in this town that we're going to, walking down the street, they may be very surprised. I think that the town is mostly dwarven, human, and halfling. So as your crew goes through, they may be
Oh, the circus.
like they'd be like, hi.
So,
Yeah, they would.
The circus
Maybe
is
the
in
people that-
town.
They'd be like averting their eyes, walking down the street, looking past you, just trying to avoid notice.
Man, we're gonna get such bad deals on everything.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Should we change our names to our character names in Discord or whatever? That's probably I'm gonna do that just because that's helpful.
Yeah.
Because I'll forget all of that.
Sus, what was your first name again?
Like real life first name?
Yeah, unless you don't want to use it, which is fine.
Jacob.
Jake. Then we got Ty. Okay. Vosh. Cool. So his name is already Vosh. Perfect. I'm just gonna put your guys' first name too, just for make it easier for everyone. And Dan, you were gonna change yours. Change. win. All right. Now we have introductions out of the way and just went over the rules. Everyone seems to be very level-headed and open to everything, so I don't think that we're gonna have any issues. I think it's gonna be a really good campaign for all of us. See if I just didn't go over. I think I went over the notice.
Ryan, I put my Gundren meeting into my notes for backstory whenever you want to look at it.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look over all the backstories and stuff over this week, just because for this session it's not really going to matter as much. But as we go in to the campaign starting next Saturday, and I do apologize too, guys. I know that for some reason it says Sunday at 8:30 on the campaign thing, which I can edit that right now too while I'm thinking about it, because why won't it let me? Saturday at Dan brought that up, and I was like, I don't know why it says Sunday at 8:30, but maybe I was out of my mind that day or something. Okay, we should be good now.
It's funny because I booked it and then I was like, "Oh fuck, I messed it up." And then I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
somebody
no,
named me
yeah, that was
already,
my-
Thank you.
That was my bad. I don't know how that even happened, but
"Oh, good."
I got it fixed. It's definitely Saturdays at 8. So a little backstory about the area that you'll be traveling to, which is a little bit southeast of the city of Neverwinter. More than 500 years past the date that you guys are going on this adventure, clans of dwarves and gnomes had made an agreement known as the Fandelver's Pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a wondrous cavern which was known as Wave Echo Cave. In addition to not only mineral wealth, the mine contained a great magical power. It seemed to contain like a forge that could take regular material and actually turn it magical, which magical items in Dungeons and Dragons are of high value. So you can imagine that this cave that could make normal metal magical would be of great value to numerous factions. Human spellcasters, this did attract human spellcasters to come down and ally themselves with these dwarves and gnomes to channel and bind that energy into that forge, which we kind of went over about the turning into magical items, which they called the Forge of Spells. Times were good for a while, and the nearby human town of Fandalin prospered due to all the increased traffic coming to this mine. Unfortunately, good times don't always last, as disaster struck when a horde of orcs swept through the north and laid waste to all in their path. These were a very powerful force of orcs that were reinforced by evil wizards that were very jealous of the power that was created in this cave. They used these orcs to attack Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and treasures for themselves. The humans and the dwarves and gnome allies fought to defend the forge, and the ensuing spell battle between the other wizards and the human wizards destroyed much of the cavern. Few survived the cave-ins and the tremors that resulted of the wake of this battle, and the location of Wave Echo Cave was lost. Centuries after this, and in the past, rumors of these buried riches had attracted treasure seekers and opportunists in the area around Fandalin, but no one had ever succeeded in locating that mine. Recent years, people have eventually resettled Fandalin just recently, within the past few years. It's now a rough and tumble frontier town. Imagine like a Wild West town. Not really a lot of law, not a lot of supplies. Everyone's kind of every man for themselves kind of era there. More importantly than that, though, the Rockseeker brothers, Gundren, who you all had met and is your benefactor, have discovered the entrance to this cave, and they do intend to reopen this mine. You met Gundren in the city of Neverwinter, where he asked you to escort a wagon load of provisions to this settlement of Fandalin, which was a couple days' travel southeast of Neverwinter. He was very excited when he gave you the news and hired you for this, and he was more than a little secretive about his reasons. He only said that he and his brothers had found something big, and that he'd pay you 10 gold pieces each for escorting these supplies to Barthen's Provisions, a trading post in the town. He then set out a few days before you on horse along with the warrior escort named Sildar Hallwinter, claiming that he needed to arrive early to take care of some business. You guys had all agreed to escort this wagon to Fandalen, and you guys found yourself on the road a few days after Gundren had left to take care of his business. You had spent about 2 days following the high road south of Neverwinter, and you've just recently veered east along the Tribord Trail. You had encountered no trouble so far, but the territory is known to be dangerous. Bandits and outlaws have been known to lurk along the trail. So that is pretty much the backstory of the campaign. That Gundren had found something big. You guys don't really know it's Wave Echo Cave, but could be for all you know. We don't know if he actually discovered it or not. It's been searched for hundreds and hundreds of years. But he has said he might have found something big, and he's paying you to escort a wagon full of goods, and gold for anything is good these days. I am ready to we can do like the little intro to the campaign if you guys are all ready. I just gotta make your tokens
Do it.
I'm here for it.
if you guys are all down.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
good.
just we'll do the intro tonight, and then we'll start for full next week.
Did we meet Sildar Hallwinter prior to when he left?
Sildar Hallwinter, you had met. He is a you met him kind of with Gundren. He's kind of escorting Gundren around, almost like a bodyguard at the time when he heard about the mines. He is a member of the Lord's Alliance, actually, a faction that was all about combating evil in the Forgotten Realms. He actually was quite respected member. You're not quite sure how high ranking he is in this organization, but you do know that the Lord's Alliance, their leader is Daggle Neverember, the Lord of Neverwinter, the city that you guys had been in. So quite a prestigious faction. Got barbarians. And if you guys do want to send me the pictures that you guys would like to use of your characters and just message those to me, I can make custom tokens for you guys, or I can just use whichever ones you guys use for your D&D Beyond characters.
I say just use the one for the D&D Beyond. That one actually looks pretty cool. For
If
me,
that is
anyways.
the one that you want to use.
Yeah, if you want me to snip it and send it to you, I can.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's the same one from D&D Beyond, but it's
Okay. No, then don't worry about it. I can.
Oh, you got it? All right.
Yeah, I can get it. Where are my barbarians? 2 barbarians. This will be the first campaign I've run with 2 barbarians.
That sounds absolutely barbaric.
It sounds horrifying for the enemies, to be honest. Just 2 screaming.
Just 2 screaming
One-
fucking barbarians.
One part dragon, one lizard.
What is the breakdown again? It's 2 barbarians, a melee cleric, and then what else?
A warlock.
Oh, okay. We got one guy in the back. One guy in the back.
Hopefully I get Eldritch Blast. I do have a picture. I just have to go find it.
Okay.
I'll be back in just a second. I need some water.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
I'll wait for you to get back, and then if anyone else, I wanted to set. You guys did take a cart led by 2 oxen who actually belonged to Gundren. One was named Snop, and the other one was named Bessie. They're very well trained.
Did you say
oxen.
snot? I'm sorry.
Snot,
Okay.
Snot, and Bessie.
It's
Snot
canon.
is quite large oxen. Bessie is a smaller female. They're very well trained oxen. They never have any issues. They seem to have taken this cart many places, many times. Not even one noise, and you barely have had to feed them. With this cart of goods that you were paid to escort to Fandalen, was anyone riding the cart, driving the cart, walking alongside the cart on this trail?
Me as a barbarian, I was walking on the side of it.
I would probably do the same.
Okay, both barbarians are walking alongside the
I'll
cart.
probably be on the cart.
I would also probably be on the cart. I have short legs.
Cleric and the warlock. Yeah, I would say that makes sense. Label when
Oh Jesus.
you labeled the wrong. All right,
That's fine.
Chris, don't label them.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were having us label our own dudes.
Well, when we have our pictures, we won't have to label it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, cool. Yeah, you found that was Dan that just joined.
Yep.
Owlbear. Cool. All right. So we had Bayrick riding the wagon with the Tiefling Warlock, Tybalt, well, the two barbarian lizard folk, Wen, the silent rest of his name, and then Vash walking alongside. As you guys were traveling from Neverwinter, nothing really happened. Was there anything that you guys did to pass the time with each other? Had you guys known each other beforehand? Anything like that? Did you guys discuss anything while you were traveling?
Vash probably didn't say much. He probably just kind of did a few non-verbal head nods, and but other than that, he just kind of didn't really say anything. He just kind of walked along.
Kept to
Maybe-
himself.
Yeah, maybe like when no one was looking, maybe like sniff the ox.
I'm pretty chatty. I was probably trying to talk to anybody that would listen to me.
And I would have listened to him.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a beefy lizard man. who Just
So we
wanna
got the
get
two
paid.
barbarians walking along the cart, not saying anything,
Mhm,
and then the
mhm.
people in the cart are just
That's
chatting.
killing
It
the
makes sense.
reptilian barbarians.
I mean, it makes sense to me, but
Like, anybody have a deck of cards? Were we playing cards? Did we meet up at a bar the night before? We're just
Liar's dice.
doing the job.
you guys all
Gotta
just
make the time
accepted the
pass.
jobs. We're
Yeah.
silent. Like, I'm just ready to get my damn 10 gold from this job. Let's just get there.
I think I have like the D&D version of chess in my bag, so
Oh yeah, there you go.
All right, with the chatty cleric and the warlock talking on the cart, and the barbarians just focused, laser focused, walking ahead. After you turned onto the Triboard Trail, you walked for about half a day, and you still hadn't seen anything. Knowing that this area, especially once you turned onto the Triboard Trail, could be more dangerous, you did end up coming kind of around a bend where you couldn't see around. And as the oxen and the cart first kind of peeked around the bend, you could see probably first, maybe the tiefling would see it first, seeing as he's a little bit taller than the dwarf, but he actually did see two dead horses a little bit further up the trail, almost like they were dragged there and just blocking the road. Even from this distance, you can see that there's several black feathered arrows sticking out of these horses. The wood seems to be pressing pretty close to the trails, along with about 8 foot tall, like embankments of kind of loose stone, gravel, a little bit of boulder.
I mean, I would stop the cart if I was driving, and if I wasn't driving, I would tell whoever was driving to stop the cart.
Stop the cart. All right, you stop the cart. The oxen do listen quite well. It's a quick pull, and they're like just kind of stop there. Cart slowly, the wheels stop turning, and it slows down to a stop.
I guess I would get down and start to proceed carefully.
I would probably follow through.
I would. Did anyone say anything about it, or did we just stop and everyone started doing their own thing?
Well, we saw horses and there's arrows sticking out of them.
We all
So
see
I'm
it,
just, yeah.
Copy Yeah, then
Would I
I
know
will.
anyone that would use black feathered arrows? Is that like a thing?
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
You could try to roll history if you want to.
Sure, might as well.
Oh, this leads me to a question. Where are we rolling?
Oh, you will be rolling on your character sheet
Got
on
it.
D&D
Natural
Beyond.
20?
That'll do
Natural
it.
20? That's a good first
Let's roll
roll.
the game.
It's a nat 20, my dudes.
Arrows that seem to be black feathered, they could belong to a lot of things, but around this area, you think that they probably wouldn't be humanoid and most likely be some kind of monstrous creature, maybe a goblinoid creature.
Might be goblins around.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pull out the warhammer and the shield and start approaching the horses, I guess, but slowly. And I'd probably try to, I don't know, stay with somebody potentially. Does
Yeah, I
anybody
was
want to go
gonna
with me?
say I'll keep up side with him with my glaive attached.
I'll just let
I will be
everybody
your
walk in
I'll
front.
be your protect. I'll be your
That's probably
protection.
the right move.
Vash is going to pull out his great axe and he's just gonna barely run into the woods, trying into the side, like strafing to be in cover
okay.
of
Dope.
where the horse are. The horse is.
You wanted to move like kind of up onto the embankment here.
Let's see on the map. Yeah.
All right. So Vash is going to move forward, kind of hiding in the bushes, just kind of moving and trying to get a view of the horses from maybe higher up. And then the cleric is going to draw his warhammer and walk forward, and someone was going to go with him.
Yeah, me.
All right. When and what would as he's kind of moving forward to inspect, what were you doing? So,
I would be following them like about 5-10 feet behind.
okay. I'm just going to move you up here for now. Oh, and just so you guys, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, as we move closer, I just want to keep an eye peeled. If like as we get closer to the horses, I want to know if I see anything else, or if I, that's what I'm focusing on as I'm moving forward.
Gotcha. Just keeping an eye out for things.
Mhm.
There is a measuring tool. It looks like a little ruler, like a right angle ruler there, on the right side. There's also a paintbrush that you can draw. If you're like gonna cast a spell, you can draw like your spell effect, and then there's the pointer tool that you guys can use. Yeah, you guys can test them all out real quick
Yep.
before we. If you guys someone wants to make a perception check
Sure.
as well.
$14.
14.
Did that go in the log or no? Yes,
that
it
was
did.
in the log.
There we
Did
go.
not
All
go
right,
in the
good.
log.
Oh, it went in the log for me.
It's in the log for me.
Did it for me?
Did it? Give me 1 second, because we have a new regenerate this counter,
That's 5. Nice.
and it should. I'll have a test roll real quick just to make sure we're on the page. Okay, we're good now. I wanted to ignore your guys' rolls for a second, but you're good. Green is a popsicle.
Can't cancel my rolls. That was a perfectly average roll.
No, oh no, you're. I see all your guys' rolls now. Looks like Ty did freeze up for a second. Let's just give him a second to reconnect.
Okay.
But with your perception roll, you do see that you do recognize these horses as belonging actually to Gundren and Sildar. You can see that they've been peppered with arrows for a few days. You kind of smell it from here as you get a little closer.
Oh, so they're not in any way fresh. I mean, that makes sense because they were 2 days ahead of us, right?
Yep. They don't seem fresh to you. They can definitely don't smell fresh.
Okay. Do I see any tracks of any sort of anywhere around me or anywhere around the horses
see
at this
any
point?
tracks around the horses. Maybe as you get closer, but you do see that it looks like what maybe is start of a trail kind of leading up this way to the northwest.
Okay. At this point, I don't think. I mean, I'm sort of somewhere between like this is a trap and maybe it's not a trap, or maybe it's old. In either case, I'd probably move forward to
It could just
investigate.
be all three.
Yeah, all of the above.
You're just gonna move forward, just still wary, right?
Yeah, we'll wait for Vash to get back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely concerned, on alert, but yeah, what else can I do? I don't see any bodies though, just the horses, right?
Yep. There's no bodies except the 2 dead horses.
Okay.
Okay, Sus, I got your picture. I will definitely make you a token. Very
Appreciate
cool looking. Very cool looking. And let me just message Vash. Actually, it's Vash's turn. He chooses to pee on the tree.
Had to
We can
redeem
wait.
myself real quick.
We can wait a few minutes for him if you guys are cool with it.
I'm fine waiting. It's session 0,
I have
so
nothing planned. I didn't think we'd
Yeah.
get this far. So
right, totally.
Honestly, I didn't either, so that's why it took me a second to get everything ready. But
it's like that.
You
felt
guys
kinda short.
all-
Might as well fill something in.
well, everyone just kind of no one really had too many concerns, I don't think, and we all seemed to go pretty quick. Everyone made their character already, so it was pretty smooth. Oh yeah, for sure. Red bearded.
Red beard, dark skin.
Love it. I just love Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
I've just become really addicted these past few years.
it's good once it gets hooked into you, man. Like it's crazy. Like I was like I'm just stepping back in for the first time in like I don't know 5-6 years. It was just like it all came flooding back, and then I had
Yep.
all these ideas that crept into every waking moment. I didn't do a lot of work this week.
I can imagine. That's how I feel all the time. My girlfriend's like, we run a business on the side too, and she's like, you need to do this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, but I really don't care because I'm just thinking about what I want to do in Dungeons and Dragons. Oh man, it's bad, but just how it is.
Yeah, this is my real first time playing in a while. I moved states recently, so I couldn't do the live game anymore. And for some
Yeah.
reason, as soon as I moved, the online game stopped meeting. So
Dang.
yeah.
Yeah, on Sunday nights I was playing, and it was a new DM, and she canceled her first session because she said she got broken up with. I was like, okay, cool. And then the second session we didn't have because she had to work. And then the third session we had, and it was our session 0, which we didn't really do much. And then the fourth session, she canceled again because of work. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm just out because I feel like
I'm out.
It's kind of a waste of time for me to be like excited to actually
Yeah.
play, and then and she would cancel like 30 minutes before we were supposed to start. So I was like, yeah, I
If you're gonna
understand. Like,
cancel, at least cancel
yeah.
like a day or
Exactly,
two
like
in
you-
advance.
I messaged like last day. I'm like, are we actually still having this? Because she hadn't messaged like all week. I'm like, are we actually still having this? Didn't respond, and then she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel. I'm like, yeah, you should probably just cancel the campaign because it's not really fair to have 4 or 5 people waiting on you and then just cancel over and over again. So,
True.
so I didn't get to play really except a session 0. So it's kind of.
You'll get your time. We'll make it work.
Oh no, it's fine. I don't mind DMing. I always am thinking about stuff too. As a player now, I feel like I would be almost a metagamer myself and try to hold that back the best I can.
No, like I said, I would love to like DM some point in time, Ryan, if you wanna do that. And if you wanted to run this campaign like the other ones, if you ever like needed a Saturday off or whatever, if you couldn't make it, I don't mind doing like a one shot for free. I enjoy doing one shots.
Yeah, that's completely fine with me, and I would be able to manage all that so that you guys could do that if you guys did. Oh, now we fully lost him. Give him another second. Yeah, if I don't foresee anything really coming up that I don't have to be here, but for sure, if that is a thing and I'm not able to make it, yeah, if you want to run a one shot for them, I can definitely handle that and change all the prices and stuff. So it's not a big deal at all. We
I
can do
definitely have to. That
as
one,
everyone wants to play still.
that one shot I did. I swear, in my mind that was supposed to be like one session, and it turned into like 2 or 3.
That's how every one shot goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one shot Ryan took a fucking table in the face from an abominable Yeti.
Oh, I forgot I did play that. Yeah. Yeah, we were all level 5 and we were fighting like damn Yetis with like plus 11 to hit. I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna go well.
Is that,
I
is
had-
that-
I-
is that like an Icewind Dale campaign or?
No, I made this all up
It
offhand.
was just a dungeon. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just a random.
I had made a game where they were cursed and they couldn't die. So if they got killed in the battle, like, and each room was kind of like magical. So if they died in that room, they would teleport back to the beginning. And it was the point was so they would have like a gauntlet to fight against really, really powerful enemies. And the way I had it was if all of them died, then it was game over and they lose. But as long as someone was always in the room that they were fighting in, so the rush was to get back to that room if they died and got teleported back to the beginning. And there was like a lot of traps in it too. And Ryan did a good job because there was a lot more enemies, but because you actually figured out a lot of the traps and puzzles, you killed a lot of enemies off.
What can I say?
Oh,
Except you're welcome.
And then
Hey,
I made
welcome
them
back,
fight. I
Ty.
made them fight themselves, and that was pretty funny.
all right.
We were waiting for you. We were giving you a few
Appreciate
minutes.
We
Yeah.
already
Oh, you're
killed
good.
everything.
How does that work in RP? He just disappears from existence, then comes back in, and we're like, "What the fuck?"
Now we're on a
Once
map,
we
so
arrange
there's
the
no
wood
enemies.
I think that time just froze for a second
Oh, okay.
as we talked about our troubles.
Time froze, but we all stayed completely.
All right, so I think we left off. Vash was moving forward, kind of on the high ground, trying to take a look down.
Yeah.
The cleric had moved forward and started to smell
wanna
the
be right
rotting
next to you.
stench from these horses, and noticed that they don't look fresh, at least a day old. Had noticed a trail that could be possibly kind of leading up this way,
Mhm.
but other than that, hadn't really seen much. You do see like some saddlebags and a leather case kind of in front of the horses a little bit, maybe a few feet kind of thrown onto the road.
Do they look open, like they were torn open, or do they just look completely closed?
The saddlebags are like one of them is like flapped open. It doesn't look like anything is like pouring out of it. The case seems to be kind of closed, maybe not fully closed, but it seems to be closed. The leather case looks like it may have held a map or something or like a scroll.
And did you guys already look around to see if anyone was hiding, waiting to gank us at all?
I mean, we did a complete
Yeah.
lap once you disconnected.
Yeah, we're gonna go
Okay.
without you.
That's cool. Then that's I'd like. Can I do that? Can I do like a search around to see if there's anyone for us to interact with these horses?
Yeah, where did you want to search?
I guess I would search. Just the. I guess the horse. Look at the horses for any sign of trapping or anything that looks like a setup.
Yeah, that's where I would head as well. I would go to look at the
Horses.
open case and the saddlebags at this point. We haven't gotten jumped yet, so I can't imagine I would feel like. And they seem old. They seem, in character, right? I mean, it's,
Right.
And
Oh, don't
I'll,
look at me.
I definitely can. I'm a hardcore barbarian, so I don't mind walking up and checking them either. Unless specifically you want me around to guard you two. I will soak up damage for you guys. I get super excited about being hurt.
Ah,
Rage
wait,
fetish.
Yeah, it's like the Nine Inch
don't
Nails
feel
character.
emotions, so would you
Yeah.
be a masochist if you can't be excited? Lizard folk don't feel emotion, do they?
This one does.
They are quite
yeah.
I feel a knife in my foot.
It's the knife in your foot,
Yeah.
right?
That's a pain receptor.
Right. It's like, it's like when you put a thumbtack in your shoe so you can beat a lie detector. It's like the same idea.
I have never heard that. Holy shit.
I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Vash, let's have Vash roll a perception as well.
Sure.
Since you were looking kind of around the horses.
Roll
Yeah,
on
much closer.
perception. Oof, not great. That's an 8.
Right. One. All right. So as you kind of look closer, you can tell that the saddlebags do seem to be looted. It looks like something that kind of torn through instead of like unbuttoning or unflapping them, they kind of just tore through. So you kind of see like little claw marks in the leather from your perch.
Okay.
Other than that, you can't really tell with the case if anything's in there.
Okay.
But as you kind of are peering and you're kind of like on the ledge there,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, one of those black feathered arrows kind of sinks in right below you onto the like tip of the ledge, like right next to your foot.
Aha.
And then
Well-
from the brush on the other side of the road, you do see a multitude of green short creatures, all kind of drawing short bows, going, "Stick 'em, boys, and then we got to eat them, or bring them to Clark, or something like that. But we stick them first." So we can all roll initiative.
All right. What was that? He said Clark. They bring them to
They did
Clark.
say
So
they did
that's a
say
nat 20,
Clark.
my dude.
Hey,
Wow.
2 nat 20s for first date. Let's go.
Yeah, damn right.
2 5s. I got a 6.
I got a 16.
You got 12.
Right. 22. Wow.
You have a
Starting
negative
off
1 to
strong.
your initiative.
Yeah, low dex, hot, heavy armor.
True.
Yeah.
It's a good character without
Right.
flaws.
Oh, I have an 8 in strength. I'm not doing too hot.
Normally this would be a surprise round, as it kind of did surprise you, but since you were kind of thinking it may have been an ambush, it doesn't take you as much surprise when creatures do kind of since it almost looked like a trap to begin with, you guys weren't as surprised. We're going to do the initiative order,
Yeah,
starting
nice DM.
with Win,
Oh,
or
boy.
Yarwindum with the silent.
Yarwindum silent. Yes. Okay, sorry. It's my first time playing a barbarian, so I was like just reading for a second. Okay. I am going to. How steep is this embankment to see?
It's about 8 feet up,
Hmm.
the embankment. You could go up it, but it would take double movement speed for that 5 feet, so it would take 10 feet to get up there instead of the 5. So you would just have to subtract that from your movement speed if you wanted to climb it.
Okay. I mean, all right. So 30. So it would be. You said it would take 10 feet then, right?
Yeah, it would just count.
Okay,
10
I
feet
can
to
still
the
get to
5
him
foot.
if I scamper up that then.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab my glaive and an angry lizard roar, climb right up here and engage with this guy. I don't know what the rules are about your melee stuff, but this the glaive is a 10-foot range for melee.
So you could be in the square, like right underneath where you are right now, and still hit him.
Yeah,
Okay.
you would just be able to hit him from double normal melee range.
Okay. And I
It's
will.
like a pole. It's like a pole arm.
Got it. I will attack. Nice, 19, 24.
Ooh,
Oh.
when I first looked at the number, I thought you had a nat 20 already, but you have a +5 at level 1.
I have a +5
Excellent.
at level 1. and I have a splash.
Excellent. You do hit. You can roll damage.
I rolled a 1 on that one though. 4.
As you see the lizard folk just running and scampering up there with it, wielding his large glaive, he draws it up when he gets to the top and just swings it at this goblin that had just first appeared, talking about sticking him. As he swings it, he kind of loses a little bit of balance, doesn't do as much force as it possibly could, but he definitely gets a good stab right into the ribcage of the goblin as it goes, "Ah, you gonna pay for that one, you will."
That's what you think.
I don't think anything.
He's a neutral arbiter.
I don't think.
I was responding
think
I was responding to the goblin.
I know, I'm just messing
Okay.
with you.
Stay in RP, sir, please.
Damn, I broke my own rule. The DM is exempt from that rule.
Oh, fucking Christ.
I agree to this rule.
Yeah. Let's vote. Yay or nay for that one.
I was good.
Oh, no, I
I'm
don't
good
care.
with
You
it.
can do whatever you want,
I'm
Ryan.
good with it.
All right. Is that the end of your turn, Win?
I do get... Sorry, I do remember that I get bonus action once per short rest, or I can rage. Yeah, I'm not going to do either of those right now.
Okay. So it's the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to hang on to those for right now.
All right. I should have had my 1d4. There's 4 of you guys. Another thing I do like to do is roll to see who they attack. So let's find out.
Yeah, he says that until he has a massive overgrown orangutan punch my fucking rogue in the face 3 times in a row at fucking 700 damage.
I mean, did you deserve it?
Well, duh.
I felt like you were holding on to that one for a while. Like you were quick to the trigger on that. Is that he hurts you?
Wakes up every day with the orangutan.
An overgrown fire orangutan, nonetheless. That one of our other party members casts a fire spell on, and you were like,
Like, read the room, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that is on fire.
Try fighting like 4 or 5 armed trolls that all get like 6 attacks, and you're the only tank.
That sounds like the DM wanted to kill you.
We didn't, so he tried.
Damn. I know his pain. It feels like whenever I'm not trying to kill, just out of care, whenever I don't try to kill someone, or I'm not really trying to, it's like they get like messed up by like a nat 20. But when I'm trying to kill someone, I feel like no matter what, they survive. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's stacked
what the
against
hell?
you.
It's like, what the hell? B actually, funny enough, did roll against Win to attack him. So as he draws back his kind of crappily made rickety goblin short bow and fires his black feathered arrow right towards a lizard folk that just attacked one of his goblin friends. You get away from Yip! Fires. To make sure I'm rolling you guys, I will show you guys my attack rolls. Short bow, which he's gonna roll a
Nope.
8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. No, I'm just kidding, it doesn't.
Well, I did say they were shoddy, really crappy short bows, so it
Mhm.
wouldn't quite draw back with enough force to reach Win and kind of just lands a little short, almost hitting the other goblin. Then Goblin D is going to fire his short bow. I think this dice is loaded. He's going to be firing at Bash.
Okay.
First one to kind of peek around the corner there was Bash, and does the same thing, pulls back his short bow, kind of pulls it to the side, and lets go the arrows. You see it flying towards you. It's going to roll a 21.
Ooh.
Wow.
That will do.
Oof.
Ooh. That was a max roll of 6 plus 2. I am going to actually take the average. It's going to hit you for 5 piercing damage. As you just feel the arrow embed like in your hip, kind of through your armor and your scales, and you just kind of feel like a burning sensation as the kind of shittily made curved like metal pierces into your flesh.
Oh God, so pissed off now.
That sounds like tetanus.
Yes,
It definitely could. I don't think that they keep these very sharpened or in very sanitary environment. So
No, I'm gonna remember that guy. Is that D?
yep, D is the one that fired the short bow at
Alright.
you.
Gave you the D.
With the
Arrow.
FD and the B.
All right. After that, it's going to be Tybalt's turn. It's Tybalt or Tybalt?
Tybalt.
Or like Tybalt,
Tybalt.
like from Shakespeare,
Yeah,
right?
Shakespeare
Gotcha.
Tybalt.
Gotcha.
Or
Right.
Magic the Gathering Tybalt.
Yeah, both good.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, comparable works. I mean, let's be.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, I mean, get them confused. The keys are right next to each other.
Do I have a clear line of sight on D? Goblin D?
He is above you, and he's about 55 feet away from you. So I'd probably say it's about 60 feet, including the elevation difference.
Okay, but I can see him good enough to attack him.
Yeah, they're out. They came out of the brush as they only move him a little bit more forward. They're out of the brush right now.
Alright. Well, I'm going to shoot Eldritch Blast at Goblin D.
All right, let's blast them.
That is 8.
Oh,
That does miss. So as you raise your arm forward and a burst of eldritch energy, kind of purple in nature, almost like crackling lightning, flies all the way across the battlefield. It just kind of goes a little bit over his head. Maybe you're just compensating a little too much for the elevation. Just misses him.
Yeah. In that case, gonna use my movement.
Yeah. Yep.
Go. Hold on. Right about there.
Yep. And moving there, you're kind of on the side of the embankment, so you will have cover from D. You have half cover from D and full cover from A if they try to attack you with range.
Okay, that's what I was going for, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay. After Tybalt, it's going to be Bayrick.
all right. I think what I would call out to Vash and ask him, "How you doing over there?"
Just gonna snarl loudly.
I don't know how to interpret that. I'm just gonna yeah. We'll go ahead and do it anyway. So I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Vash.
Okay. Nice.
All right, so you get 5 hit points back, and then let me measure. I don't think anybody else has taken any damage, so we'll go here. Make a what is it? Dex saving throw for Sorry, let me scroll up here. Sacred Flame. So it's a Dex saving throw. The DC's 13 for C.
Proceed.
Mhm.
Dex saving throw is going to be a 4.
Oh, whoops!
Damn.
The least dexterous goblin I've ever seen.
All right, nearly max damage. 7 damage.
It does kill this goblin.
Get wrecked.
All right, and I'm gonna move up, I guess. 25 feet towards the horses. Can I move my tokens directly? I don't even know.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
If you don't have it selected, I think you might just have to grab the hand, the move tool, and you can drag your token.
Okay, and that's my turn.
All right, Bayrick, after he waves his hand and cures you almost feel the arrow pull out of your hip and drop to the ground as the wound closes from the arrow from the with one hand. His other hand, he reaches out and a burst of divine fire just flies out almost like a firebolt and smashes into Goblin C right over Wynn's head and just burns his entire face. It's just like a goblin skeletal face falls back his body and kind of slams into the brush. All right, and then it's Goblin A's turn, who is going to move forward onto Bayrick. You killed Gabo. I will get revenge for this. Kind of jumps over this horse and attacks you with his kind of curved, nasty dagger-like scimitar.
Yikes.
With a 14.
Nope, that'll miss.
As he jumps, he swings, but you're able to easily just kind of sidestep his blade as he's like, and just looks up at you. Fear. He will, after that, decide to kind of, after he misses, just kind of back off to about this side of the rock, using his nimble escape. I will get you, as he goes back.
I would call him a coward. I mean, that's one thing. Coward, get back here. I'm gonna put you to the anvil.
Nice.
See if you be calling me a coward soon. Just kind of peeking around the rock.
I'm not a coward.
Gonna go to Vash's turn.
All right. That for this ridge here, would I lose any distance if I wanted to start making a beeline toward D? Would I lose any movement going down that?
Make an acrobatics check, and then we'll decide if you lose any movement going down there or not.
Okay.
Let's look for a 10 at least. It's not too
Oh,
difficult.
natty one.
Oh
Oh,
no!
Lands on his face.
What would normally be a kind of easy slide down this gravel to land on the ground. Your foot must have caught on a stray root or rock, but you actually fall head first into the horse, kind of face
Oh,
landing into rotted
gross.
horse flesh. Luckily, it did kind of slow your impact, so you didn't take any damage, but you definitely got back up, not feeling quite yourself. Let's just say your movement speed is halved for this.
Halved?
Yeah.
All right. He is going to be livid. He has like horse remains all over his face. And he just fucking fell. And he's just trying to kill this thing. So he is going to, rage and then continue the rest of his movement toward D.
Okay.
So half. So that's 15. So that's 1.
You'll be able to get pretty
yeah.
close to the base of the.
That's about right there, right?
Yeah, about there is good.
All right. Get my rage on.
Getting real angry after that. Damn roots. Goblin C is dead. Which will go back to Wind's turn.
I'm going to. I won't be able to make it the whole way because of that ledge, but I'm going to go after B.
Okay.
Did you want me to do a save down that embankment?
Yeah, we might as well. Might as well keep
Oh,
it
yeah.
there, right?
Fuck
Hilarity
yeah,
is
let's do
Yeah, but at least consistency.
it. 20.
Okay.
Oh!
Yes, you are. You did what Vash tried to do, but much better. You did just kind of slide down, almost baseball slide.
Nice.
Give me all your ones. I'll be your numerical tank.
I would probably yell out, you got fancy feet, lizard folk, but kill the goblin. Don't dance.
It's all in the tail, my friend. I can make it to about here because I'm not going to be able to make it up that embankment this turn. But I would like to use that's my move. I'd like to use my action to aggressively scream and yell at B with intimidation.
Yeah, roll intimidation.
Fuck yeah, do it.
He's just standing there with his bow knot.
7. It's only a 7.
Rawr.
Rawr.
So you pretty much just kind of did a lizard. You're just a lizard focus at him, and as he's like kind of knocking his arrow, he just kind of and just draws his arrow back and points it at you.
I love level 1 and being like proficient in something. You're proficient in this. You get a +2.
Yeah, it's like, what is this?
That's okay. I had my rogue in the other campaign had like a +8 on stealth, and I'd be like, "Yep, that's a 2."
Or like if you're a bard and you're just good at everything all the time.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I just want to shoot blasts at people.
Yeah. Start blasting.
That is the best part of being a
Ooh,
warlock.
nice.
Eldritch Blast.
Wait till
I'm
I get
blasting.
600 feet Eldritch Blast. It's gonna be great.
600 feet. And then when you can Eldritch Blast twice on a turn, and then you can choose different targets, just like double Eldritch Blast. What's up?
That's the Kimbo.
Eldritch Blast is probably damn near one of my most favorite abilities. Goblin B's turn after Wen tried to intimidate him with his vicious roar. Didn't quite work. He kind of already had his arrow knocked at him and is going to just fire that arrow at him. For a 21.
Was this at me?
Which should... Yes.
Yes, that hits.
I hope so, because if it didn't, we'd have to look at your character sheet.
I believe one of us when I was like gawking at everybody else's character sheets. I'm pretty sure I saw an armor class at 20 somewhere.
I have an
Really?
18 armor class.
The 18,
I don't have a
that's
20.
what it was.
would-
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, you high, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I didn't see any. I didn't see any 20s. That'd be pretty.
That'd be
Impressive.
fucking
I could
awesome.
get to a 19 if I wanted to, but I don't. right
Oh,
now.
with your forged domain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that which is obscene.
If I take off my armor like completely, it goes to 15, but I think it raises when I gain levels. I
Okay.
got like some natural. I have both barbarian natural bonus and lizard folk scale bonus.
That's. I mean, that tracks. I mean, that makes sense in character. Like,
Yeah, you would think that scales would be harder to pierce through than just like regular,
Yeah.
dwarven or human halfling.
barbarians don't like chafing,
No, I
so
agree.
they don't.
You get angry enough, and all of a sudden your skin just bounces blades off of it.
That would be awesome.
That's what the Hulk does. you know?
Basically, yeah. The more mad he gets, the more resistant, right?
That horse moved. That horse did not move.
Zombie horse. Oh no.
Oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Oh, what the heck? Oh,
The horse is alive.
Don't put that horse on me. I don't.
should be good now.
Are
Alright,
you hurting me, Bo? You hurting me, Dungeon
Yeah.
Daddy?
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, don't say that. That's.
He always does that. As the arrow leaves the bow at this close range, it's almost impossible to miss, and shooting downwards on you as it kind of pierces right into your shoulder, almost to your neck, dealing 4 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
You're a very sophisticated lizard folk, I've noticed.
There's a backstory somewhere in there.
The first
Part of my
lizard folk
backstory,
to go to
man.
college.
He studied in Candlekeep for a while.
Do lizard folk wear shoes?
I
Nah.
don't think. Do people make shoes for lizard folk?
I mean, I was
Shoes for
thinking, like,
anything.
do they make shoes for people that have knives in their feet? Also, was the
Mm,
thing I was thinking
mm.
about.
Is it like a big knife or is it like really small?
It's actually just a small piece of blade because it broke off in there and it's healed in.
I feel like this story is changing.
No, I did say that. No, I did say
Okay.
that to begin
No, that's
with, but
me.
you guys were
I thought me
laughing.
So if somebody cuts off your foot, will you die, or does it actually have to be pulled out of your foot?
I
You can
think
grow it
that's one of
back,
those
right? You're a
things-
lizard. You
You're
can
a
grow your
lizard.
foot back.
I think that one actually has to go with like I think that would have to be a DM ruling because I'm not sure because I've never cut my foot off to find out.
I think how we should just rule this in is that I feel like that weakness would be, since I know of it, it's like wouldn't make any sense to be like, yeah, this bandit just goes right for this.
Goes for the
blade
foot.
sticking out of your
That would
foot
be
and pulls it out.
metagaming.
Just go ahead and make an athletics check, and if you fail this, then you die. So like, we'll just say it's a cosmetic thing. He just is very protective of it. It may not kill him when it gets drawn out, but it would hurt a lot, bleed a lot, but it may not kill him. He doesn't really know. I mean, he's never pulled it out, and he hasn't died. So he doesn't know if he'll die or not. if
It
it's
might
a-
make me as powerful as a god. Who knows?
Or just give you a sore toe for a few days.
That too. Or gangrene.
I mean, I'm not even that good at medicine, so I bet. I mean, I don't even know if I could do a tourniquet. So be careful.
I can
And
blast
after
it off.
I get some medicine skills. I can hook you down. I'll wrap it up.
All right, and that goblin is actually going to try to just kind of, after he fires his arrow, he's just going to try to step back into the brush, kind of hide. Roll in the brush.
How does hiding work?
Hide is if you're in like a cover type territory, you can try to hide, and goblins can hide as a bonus action, so it kind of works as stealth. You could perceive where they're at, but you have to try to look for them after they hit.
But he doesn't have to like beat my passive perception or anything, does he?
Oh, I didn't even talk about passive perception. So for passive perception, how I like to do it is I don't really like using it as me like, oh, you found this trap because you're passive perception. What I like to do is if you roll for perception and you roll below
Got it.
your
It's like a
passive
minimum.
perception, you can take that instead.
Cool. All right.
Oh.
That's the one thing in this game I'm really not a big fan of.
It's always
passive
been a bit
perception.
weird.
It's very
Yeah.
kind of almost takes away from the danger of things, I would think. That's why I don't really like it, but I like to give it as an option that if you roll bad, then normally people have like at least over a 10 for passive perception, so
Okay.
you can at least get a decent, and you can still take your modifier for perception if you're proficient. But
Gorgeous.
as he tries to kind of hide into the brush here, the branch he tried to hide behind kind of just fall over and kind of reveals there. He's just like, so he's still definitely visible to
That's
you all.
funny.
In fact, maybe more visible, seeing as he moved the brush out of the way.
We all just like, what the hell's that noise?
Like, what the hell is that goblin doing up there? And Goblin D's turn. He's going to attack. Is that half cover? He's going to attack you at disadvantage, the Warlock.
Okay.
He's going to roll twice to attack you under half cover at disadvantage. His first roll is going to be with his short bow, a 18, which would probably hit.
Yep.
So we'll roll again for a 11.
An 11 won't hit, but the 18 will.
Oh, that's okay because it's at disadvantage, so I have to take the low. I have to take the lower roll.
My head went straight to advantage. I don't know why.
No, you're good. No, it wasn't at. Yeah, you're in undercover, so he's gonna attack you at advantage. He's a sharpshooter.
The more
As he
covered you are,
draws
the
his
more he.
bow back. He thinks he has a good bead on you as you're kind of looking about what you want to do next, kind of around your cover, and fires the arrow. But at the last second, kind of drops his bow a little too much. Maybe he's holding onto it too long to try to get a good shot on you, and the arrow definitely falls short, almost landing into the rocks ahead of you, kind of skipping off onto the road. Damn it! You can kind of hear the goblin just shout at himself as he tries to knock another arrow. He's actually gonna hold his position there on the hill, thinking it's quite an advantage to have the high ground there, which will lead us to Balt's turn.
Well, considering he just tried to shoot me, I'm going to shoot him with an Eldritch Blast.
Sounds fair.
Do it.
11.
11 does unfortunately miss.
Mine. He's mine.
Goblin.
I call that goblin.
Alright, well. And I'm just gonna use my movement to go behind this tree up here on the embankment.
Okay. And that looks good. Anything else for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right, it's gonna bring us to Bayric's turn.
All right, I'm gonna move over to here to A, and then I will just do an attack with my Warhammer.
Okay.
Which, for anybody that looks at it, it's a miss. It looked pretty when it missed, so
Cool.
it kind of glows a little bit. It's inlaid with lots of runes and carvings, and it would use really easy to see as I whiffed. So that's my turn.
Dan, what god did you worship, by the way?
Morden.
Morden. Cool. Love Morden. Love me some Morden.
By
Love
Moradin's
me some
beard.
Morden.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
doing?
He's the
Gods,
best.
Am I right?
What are you doing, Tiny? No claws.
Kitty
No claws.
is a kitty.
Is the cat out in action?
Yeah, I get punctured with an arrow and a cat just flies out of my backpack. It's like, it's a reaction clause.
All right, Goblin A. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just. Go ahead.
You sure? Sorry, I cut you off the wrong time. Goblin A, after not only did the dwarf move forward onto his position, but then miss with his warhammer, kind of slamming into the rock as the goblin just like, you'll never hit me. As he's kind of bouncing around the rock, he's going to kind of swing back with his scimitar back at the dwarf. for a
Got me.
6.
Oh. Okay. 6 doesn't hit.
Imagine if it did.
Are you guys seeing?
Yeah,
Are you
right?
guys seeing? You guys are just seeing one roll, right?
I'm seeing
Yeah.
multiple rolls, I feel like.
You see a 21 as well.
I do see a
s-
21 as well.
I see 2 rolls, but I'm just starting to go with the one above the one. Like,
Yeah, sorry. It's because I also have the roll 20 add-on. So that's
Oh.
on the roll 20. That's the thing. So just take the I'll just-
That makes way more sense now. I was like, where are all these rolls coming from?
yeah, sorry. I
Got
will
it.
just roll to myself for now. I don't even plan roll 20 anymore, so I'll deactivate that for next session.
So 6 is
Because-
not going to hit.
Yeah,
21
it's
would have.
definitely- The 6 is what it's crazy because it's so weird the roll 20 add-on because it rolls the dice and it rolls a 6 for me, or the 4 or the 2 that he rolled plus the 4. But then it rolls on another thing, like just a random screen pops up and says a different roll. So it's like doesn't even make
Come
any
up here.
fucking sense. But
it's just like, do you want to fudge the roll? Here you go.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Do you want to win
I'm
against your
not.
players?
I'm actually pretty damn fair as a DM. I don't really fudge rolls often. At times, rolls are fudged.
I feel like
think
you
in
don't
a-
want to kill somebody in session 0, but like kind of it's game on after that.
Well, my thing
You know
my
what I
thing
mean?
with
Like you
Ryan
said,
is
it's
my
a dangerous world.
my thing with Ryan is he's such a nice DM that sometimes I start like, trying to like pressure him into because we'll be playing and we're like 80 episodes into a game right now, sessions into a game right now, and he'll be like, I don't want to do that. That's gonna insta kill one of the characters. I'm like, fucking do it, pussy. And then he does
Yeah.
it to me, and I somehow roll out of it every time. I'm all about the bad things happening in D&D too. I think that's part of the fun.
No, I like to more punish bad decisions more than
Sure.
bad rolls.
Yeah, that's true too.
I think
But
that
if
makes
there's
sense.
a lot of bad rolls, I mean, sometimes things just happen. But I like bad decisions are what I'm more about punishing than. I'm not even more about punishing. I like just everything's dangerous and can kill you, but whatever. We'll just keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Totally.
We're picking up what you're laying down.
If you die, you get to
Everyone
roll a
just-
new character, which is the best part. So
Yep.
it's fine.
Yep. And sometimes people like dying because they want to play a different character, so sometimes it's a
Mhm.
win-win.
It's fine.
And then we get to have a funeral and all these cool things. So
That is not what happened last time. We just looted his body and walked away. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, you murder hobos. What's
Yeah,
wrong with you?
seriously.
Oh my god! After we
Yikes.
finish this combat, I'll tell you guys that story. That'd be quite funny before we end it, but that was a funny one. As you guys are watching Barrick and this goblin kind of fighting around this rock, they're both just playing like it's both trying to flobber each other's heads off and just banging into the rock like, I'm gonna get you, no, I'm gonna kill you, and just fighting. And you're just like, okay, I guess you got him, Barrick. After that goblin's turn, it's gonna go to Vash's turn.
All right. I am going to still gun after D. I want the D. I'm gonna run up there. I'm gonna try and get up to my guy over here. I think I can get that with my movement, right? Even with
Yes.
the foot. So yeah,
Get
So
him.
5, 10. Yeah, you can. That'd be like 15 feet. You're definitely good.
yeah. And I'm just gonna climb up the embankment, all panting, with this crazy look in my eye. I found you, and I'm going to hit him with the axe. That's the wrong roll. That's a damage. Hopefully it doesn't stick. I got a 19.
All right, you did hit, but I will take your damage roll that you rolled already. Okay.
That is absolutely fair.
Okay. You do hit with your great axe for 4 damage. So, kind of like when he first climbed up, it kind of surprisingly took a little bit more out of your swing than you thought it would do. And as you swing in, you feel your axe just pierce into the lower body of this goblin. He's like, blood kind of just squirts all on the ground in front of you. Your axe is covered with blood, is bleeding profusely from its leg, but it's still standing.
All right. Then my bonus action, I will take the blood and rub it on my face and try to freak him out.
He's pretty distracted from the wound, so he's not quite freaked out. He's more trying to survive and being angry. He's feeling the blood loss, but he thinks that maybe he can fix himself up if he kills you. So kind of what's going
Yeah.
through his head right now.
And it's more for me than maybe it's just for me to feel better.
You definitely feel quite vicious after finally wetting your great axe with this goblin blood has been pissing you off so bad. Oh, did
That's
that
all.
give you your bonus damage from rage though?
You're raging, right? Yeah.
It would. You have to factor that in yourself, so it would add an extra 2 damage.
So it would be
Oh,
6
that's
damage,
right.
so
It would be 6.
I did forget about that, but I just remembered it, which I'm glad. So he is
You
actually.
would think with how
much...
perceptive D&D Beyond is, it would auto add that.
There's just certain things that you got to remember, like that don't auto add. Like it doesn't count. Like it kind of counts as a spell or an ability, so it doesn't
Yeah.
automatically add that to your.
If
Maybe
there was like
part
an
of it
on,
limit
if they
in.
like coded in an on switch for your rage or something, and it then did the modifier, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I know for the blood hunters, so you have to like go to your character customization. If you like become like a lycanthrope blood hunter, you have to go change it that way. But
Really.
How do you guys feel about Blood Hunters, by the way?
I think it totally depends on who the fuck's playing it.
'cause you might just get Edgelord McGee.
Yeah. I
In our
feel
other
that.
campaign, my dad is a blood hunter, and he is very interesting.
That
That's
is
all I
a
gotta
very
say.
nice way of putting
You
it.
want to play
yeah.
Geralt from The Witcher? Go for it.
That's what it reminds me of. Like, definitely anyone that just watched The Witcher, like, oh, I'm definitely gonna play a blood hunter. So instead of you just kind of, I forgot about the way the rage, you actually kind of cleave into his side, and you just feel it kind of spill. Almost his guts are almost spilling out at this point. He just kind of gathers the back end. He's not quite down yet, but this goblin is very close to death.
Okay.
Still standing somehow after that vicious blow you laid to him.
That's all right. We can take it slow.
And then it's gonna go to These Dead Wind's turn.
My turn?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to climb up this embankment. And I love the RP portion of this. So what B I feel he sees, because he backed up, I got out of view for a bit. And as I'm climbing slowly up this embankment, he sees my head first and the arrow sticking out of my shoulder. And and Wynn's like, I believe this arrow belongs to you. And I'm gonna run, and then when I reach the top of the embankment, I'm gonna take my glaive out and slash at him.
Okay.
17.
Yeah.
Does hit.
9 damage.
All right. How do you want to kill that goblin?
As I get up to the embankment, I say, "This arrow belongs to you." I pull my glaive out, and I strike him right in the side in it. And then as he's slowly, like, on the ground dying, bleeding out, I want to pull the arrow out and slowly stick it in his eye.
You just mic drop. Just mic drop it right
Yeah.
on.
And then
He's
maybe...
just like, no!
And I will skip the like the Call of Duty Halo teabagging part. It's just very awkward when you have a towel to do. It's very hard to do.
Sounds like character growth to me.
All right, that was pretty brutal. Was there anything else you want to do after having your way with that goblin?
I still have movement left, so
Wait,
yeah.
you ripped the arrow out of yourself, right?
Yeah, so I'm probably going to take damage for that, aren't I?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Have at it.
Oh, you take 1 more point of damage after ripping the arrow out of you. I guess it wasn't quite as deep as you first thought when it shot into you.
So in that case, I go, ow, and then put it in his eye. That was very short movement. So you said that was like 10 feet to get up that. Gives me 20 feet. So yeah, so I'm going to move the rest of my way over to Vash and his buddy here that he's being friends with. And I'm going to use my bonus action of Hungry Jaws.
Ooh.
And that's going to be this. So roll. 17.
Does hit.
It does 5 damage.
That should do it.
You
Yeah,
definitely
because he was
kill
like
him.
hanging on by a thread before.
Yeah.
And it gives me 3 temporary HP if I hit. So, but I don't know how temp HP works or how long it lasts. So that finish him off.
That does finish him off.
As I walk up to D and Vash, I look at Vash and say, "I'm hungry," and I wrap my tail around D and bring him up to my mouth, and I chomp down on his head and separate his head from his neck, and then drop the body on the ground.
No, no, no!
Alright, Venom, calm down.
Glory steal.
Yeah, for sure. That temporary HP, it doesn't tell you how long it lasts, like an hour or anything. It just says.
It just says you can make a bite attack if it hits. You gain 3 temp HP. But let's see what temp HP. It doesn't have any.
It normally lasts, I think, until you have
Or-
a long rest. Actually.
Yeah, in
Oh,
fourth
yeah, that
edition, it
does
was
make
like for the
sense, yeah.
encounter.
Because it says short rest next to it.
The short rest would be that's when you regain your
Yeah.
use of it, but I know it's base and 5e. It's in 4th edition. You said it was for the encounter, but I think it's in 5th edition until you rest.
Oh my
again.
god, apparently Google's listening to me because when I typed it in, it automatically, autofilled it. When you have temporary HP and you take damage, the temporary hit points are lost first. Any leftover damage carries into normal hits. Unless your feature grants you temporary hit points, they last until they're depleted or you finish a long rest. That's from 5e.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
See you guys. I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
Sometime.
Every once in a while. Cool. So you got to kill 2 goblins in 1 turn. It's pretty good.
Woo woo.
Not bad.
Vash is like staring daggers at you right now.
Kill stealer.
I can just see the 2 barbarians just fighting for kills.
That's just like, yeah.
I'm just fighting to hit something.
I feel bad.
Um,
Oh, you should also tell him the story about I stab it and it dies.
yeah, we'll tell him after we finish this encounter. We'll tell the story about poor Modak, and then we'll tell him that story, and then we'll probably after this encounter call it for this session, and then we'll come back next Saturday and really get into the thick of it.
Dope. This is great.
Move on. Tybalt, it is your turn now, though.
Alright, so I'm gonna use some movement. About half of it to get to about here. And then, is there a way I can check to see what a 15-foot cone would look like?
Yep. So 15-foot cone would just be. It kind of comes out. Really draw it, but it would just come out to like 15 feet. So make it like draw from out from you to 15, and it'd be like. So you'd want to have like 15 feet at the end of the cone, so it'd look like about this.
Okay. Then I'll cast. Let's see where to go. Burning Hands, and I'll need that goblin to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, and I will say, normally if it was in the open, that rock is going to protect our dwarven friend from this burning hands, but that goblin is definitely going to make a dex saving throw as a fire leaps out. Dex throw gonna be a 6, rolling bad.
Alright,
Oof.
and fails, so now it takes 3d6 fire damage.
Jesus, that fucking level 1, that's strong as shit.
11 damage.
Oh, he's toast.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely
Beautiful.
gonna be this goblin.
Nuked.
Did you want to describe or you want me to?
You can.
The tiefling kind of creeps up with his looking down on the embankment and sees the goblin that Bayrick is fighting with as they're kind of swinging and trading blows. He kind of rubs his hand together and a fiery energy just kind of forms around his hands, and as he releases his hands, kind of like a push away, just a cone and wave of flame bursts from it, just ignites the goblin as he's on fire. He's screaming, "It burns! It burns! It burns!" Just falls and kind of burns to ashes right in front of Bayrick. All that grass is all ignited and kind of burnt to a crisp as well in front of you.
Ah, watch it next time, Tiefling.
Looks like we're having goblin tonight, boys.
Hope you like it well done.
All right, and with that, that is the last enemy. So you guys are no longer in combat. So it's not an initiative order.
Well, let's check out the horses, I guess. See what's left of
And see if the,
the party that went ahead.
goblins have any gold or anything too.
Yeah, let's loot them.
Yeah, I'll check the one I just burned to see if anything survived.
The one you burned, as you check it, it doesn't look good. It might not have had much to begin with, but it might have all burned away.
Damn.
Kind of just a burning, smoking pile of smelly goblin flesh. Doesn't smell too good. Not something that you might want to eat. Maybe the lizard folk might eat them, but
I'll stick to
And-
my rations.
Yeah.
as you kind of check the other dead goblins, they all have kind of just like a nasty rag armor, maybe some kind of weird rat skin or something. Doesn't seem anything that you'd really want to wear or may fit you guys, but they do all have short bows and kind of curved daggers.
Let's take a short one.
Sure. Yeah. Write that down. I'll add that to your inventory. That was sus, right?
No.
It was Vash, I think. Maybe.
Oh,
It was
Vash.
I think if I saw Vash putting that gross ass short bow, I think I would kind of look and be like, I can't believe you would use it's such terrible workmanship. Like, I can't believe you would trust this weapon with your life.
I was just gonna stare at you. Just like 3,000,000 light year stare away, just looking right through, just like not saying anything, just
Yeah.
gazing into your soul.
I mean, it's nothing personal, like, but yeah, Need a
just sound
tetanus
very
shot.
talkative.
Right, so Vash got a short bow. Anyone else? Oh, and in their pockets, they didn't seem to be. Maybe these were like their little scouts or foot soldiers. They weren't really well equipped. They did have some like old rotting meat. You're not sure what kind of meat it was. Some kind of murky canteens of water, and all together, when you kind of count up all the tidbits of coins they had, they probably had about 2 silver pieces, about 15 or so copper pieces. All of them together. Weren't the richest of enemies.
Who's tracking money?
I got it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We'll split it up later, but I'm not going to put any math into some copper and silver right now.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not too terribly concerned about splitting it up.
Hey, you
Oh,
go,
you
Tiny
should
Tim.
be.
Here's your
That's
few
that's
measly
Like,
morsels.
that's like 3.5 silver, so we'll just everybody gets a silver, and then like 2 pieces of copper. I did that math wrong. There's 4 of us. Damn it. That's why I shouldn't do the money.
I don't know if I trust this well-educated lizard folk to count the money out either, but we'll see.
One.
Well, he doesn't wear shoes, so where's he gonna hide it? I mean,
That is
you know.
valid.
um,
I'm over here trying to eat it, like. "Arr."
It's like, okay, wait, all right, I'll hold on to it.
and then, oh, you're gonna check the horses. Can we just get an investigation roll from whoever was checking
Sure.
the horses?
Not me. It'd be bad.
The 13.
All right, 13 is fine. Upon finally, when you're actually able to get your hands on the saddlebags in that case, the saddlebags have been looted. There's nothing left. They've just been kind of thrown aside. The map case, when you get a hold of it and open it, it does seem to be empty as well. But on the inside of the flap, as you open it, you do see the initials GR kind of engraved into the leather there.
Gundren Rockseeker.
How'd you know that?
Well, I put 2 and 2 together,
What's
or I
2 and
specifically
2?
I put G and R together
It could
to
be
make
Gerald
Gundren Rockseeker.
It could be Gerald Roberts.
Are you a wizard?
Okay, so clearly they were ambushed, but there's no bodies. Is there a trail? Is there any indication of a struggle or a trail that leads? I mean, obviously we're on a path, but
There's this one
There's no-
right here he was telling us about at the beginning.
oh right, up here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did earlier see what looked like kind of not as worn as the path that you're on now, the Tribord Trail, but what does seem to be a path kind of leading further into the woods to the northwest there.
I want to look for any like remaining tracks from when the goblins could have ambushed this cart before to see if it might lead somewhere.
Do you, Ryan? Are we following the advantage rule for people who are,
Um,
you know what I mean?
yeah, so when we do rolls, if one person is rolling for it and they roll, and if you're proficient in it, there is a thing called assist, where if you're proficient in a skill that they're rolling on, you can allow them to roll at advantage.
Yeah,
to make
I'm
the roll.
proficient in survival, so if he's going to check for tracks, he can do that at advantage.
Yeah, and I was going to ask for a survival roll, so yeah, that worked.
I'll do an advantage roll. I thought that was an advantage roll. It didn't work. Let's go that again.
Oh no, it just means you get to roll it twice. All right, yeah,
11.
with 11, you do see a bunch of smaller footprints, which you can only believe most likely belong to goblin tracks. And among them, you do see every once in a while larger footprints, what seem to be a set of two different creatures, larger footprints, kind of intertwined, marching away.
Well, if you want to get paid, I suggest we follow these tracks. Can't get 10 gold from a dead man.
Yep,
I like money.
I agree. Is would I by chance recognize these tracks at all? The larger tracks, because obviously the smaller tracks are the goblins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just go ahead and make a survival check as well, but just not at advantage. We're not going to do like the
Yep.
proficient again, just make a regular survival.
13.
13, you recognize that one of the tracks belong to a kind of wider feet, kind of planted more firmly into the ground, maybe more sturdy, definitely belong to a dwarf. The other one could be a numerous.
Got it. So it looks like my size feet.
Yeah, one of them, you kind of just even put your like footprint there and they match almost identical.
Any signs of blood or anything else like that as we go up this trail? Because I mean, obviously the horses were killed, but I don't know to what extent the party took damage. Okay.
What even looks to be any sign of struggle. They seem to just be walking away.
Oh, I forgot to mention when I killed that goblin earlier, I got 4 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Are we?
Because of dark.
Oh, you can put them on your character sheet. I didn't even see that.
Yep.
It's next to your hit points. I didn't even see that
Yep.
before. All right.
And I got to add a short bow. So what we'll do is starting here next session.
Great.
With you guys have revealed the trail. You guys still do have the carts. You guys can decide what to do with that and where you guys want to go. But you do see a trail leading away with multiple size footprints leading into the woods there. And obviously the trail that you guys were on being with was the Tribord Trail. It does eventually lead to Van Dalen.
Are we taking a short rest here at this point,
Yeah,
or are
you
we
guys
just
can
going to
take a short
continue
rest.
next week? Okay.
Yeah, you guys can definitely take a short rest.
I always
get rid
forget
of
the
spell
rule
slots
of
back.
how short rests work for health.
Wait, do we get spell slots back with short rest, or only a long rest? Oh, you do. I don't. I don't get anything.
Warlocks do.
Yeah.
Short rests, how they work with the hit points you regain are at level 1 you have 1 hit die you can roll. So depending on your class, I think barbarians are 1d12s.
Oh, they updated it so you can actually roll. Like, it'll actually roll for you now.
Yeah, they should be able to roll for you. So they'll roll your short rest. And for short rest at level 1, you can only short rest 1 time to regain HP because you only have 1 hit die. So you can short rest as many times as you want to regain spell slots, but you can only regain your hit points once at level 1. You choose how many hit die you want to use. So let's say you're level 3, you'd have 3 hit die of 1d12s. If you short rested, you could choose to use 1 or you could use all 3. But once you use them, they're gone until you long rest. And when you long rest, you regain all of your spell slots and everything and all your hit points, but you only regain half of the hit die that you use for short rests.
Got it. Okay.
So you don't have to heal. I don't really need
Is
to
it
heal. I
rounded
got
up
my
or is
10.
it rounded down?
It would be rounded up, so like at level 3, you would regain 2 hit die.